Hi, it's Jeff with Oru Kayak. We're here at a typical beach break today. We're going to be launching from the steepest part of the beach. As you can see behind me, it's a pretty good day. I wouldn't say it's a beginner day, probably not even an intermediate day, probably advanced intermediate. You got to know what skills you have, and you got to have those skills for a day like today. Know how to roll a kayak, know how to brace a kayak, how to do the turns typically that you're going to use when you're surfing waves. If you can look behind us, we've got waves coming in. I'm going to look to see the best time to get in the surf. So I'm going to sit and watch the waves, make sure that it's a day I want to go in on. And then I'm going to get my boat down by the water. I'm going to go ahead, get in my boat. I'm going to put the spray skirt on. I'm going to wait for the best time. I'm going to use those hip thrusts to get my boat in the water. The steeper beach is going to get me in water sooner. That way I won't have to wait for a wave to come that might turn me sideways and then get me from being perpendicular. I want to stay perpendicular to the waves, and I want to punch out as I go. Onus on the first 20, 30 feet, getting through those first couple waves, getting into deeper water I can use my paddle, and then I'm going to wait for the correct time to bust through the sets that are coming in. We are going to be getting out of the surf at some point, and that can get a little dicey. Take a couple deep breaths, make sure you're mentally set and ready for it, and then try to find the best time. And the best time is going to be where there's a lull in the waves. You don't necessarily want to be surfing a wave right into the shore. Most of the time you're going to get yourself close enough, find a lull between the two waves, and then paddle yourself to where you can gain some speed, drive the boat up on shore. Right before you hit beach, you want to lean back. That way I'll unweight the bow of the boat and drive you up onto the beach. You want to get out of your skirt, pull your boat, drag it up on the beach. That's going to be the safest. Things you want to avoid is coming in slow, having the boat get turned. Now when you're turned, you can have waves to start to roll you. The ragdoll effect is not going to be enjoyable here in or out of the beach. Hope that's helpful in getting you guys in and out if it's a beach surfing day. If you want to know more about educational skills, go ahead and check out orukayak.com. Let's go out and have some fun.